All right, so these are going to be some tips for section 5.1. Hopefully this won't be too difficult of a section for you. Plot the given point on the graph. So your first coordinate, your x coordinate, is going to tell you to go right or left from the origin, and your y coordinate tells you to go up or down. So if we are doing this problem, let's see if we can, oops, that's not going to work. Hang on. Let's scroll down. -3, 7. -3, 7. Okay, so -3, 7 is the point that I'm trying to plot. So I start at the origin, and negative tells me to go left by 3. 1, 2, 3. And 7 tells me to go up +7. So here's 5, 6, 7. So my point's going to be right there. All right, does that, hopefully that makes sense. Let's plot that. -3, 1, 2, 3, up 7. There's up 5, up 6, up 7. So I click on that, and you can, if you put it in the wrong place, you can drag it. So let's put it where we want it. Submit, we get it right. All right, identify the coordinates of point A on the graph. Well, again, it's how do I get to this point from the origin? And it's right or left first, and then up or down. So to get to A, I'm going to go left 2. So that's a -2 for my x coordinate. All right. And then I go up 5. So that's a +5 for my y coordinate. That's working just fine. I feel like you guys probably can do this pretty well. This one, their charts look like a box. My charts are going to look like a T-chart, and I can't really get this all in the same screen. Let's see. 3x plus 3y equals 6. So I'm going to write it here. (3x plus 3y equals 6). Okay, so now I can't scroll, but this is not a perfect video, but it gives you the idea. So I'm going to plug in x equals 2 here. So I'm going to have 3 times 2 plus 3y equals 6. And I'm going to solve for y. So 6 plus 3y equals 6. And by the time you're in Unit 5, this should be fairly easy for you to do, is solve a linear equation here. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. So I'm not going to spend time kind of teaching you how to do this. I'm going to assume you can do it. If you need review, this is in Unit 4. So 3y equals 0. Divide both sides by 3. Y equals 0 for that. When x is 2, y is 0. So let me exit out of here and enter my y equals 0. And the other one is plugging in y equals -1 into that equation and solve for x. So if y equals -1, 3x plus 3y equals 6. 3x plus 3y equals 6. And I'm going to plug in y equals -1. So I'm going to have 3x plus 3 times -1 equals 6. So 3x minus 3 is 6. Add 3 to both sides. 3x is 9. Divide by 3. X is 3. So I'll type in a 3 for that coordinating point there. And make sure I get it right. Very good. This one says, drag the dot at the origin to plot one of the ordered pairs on the graph. Then drag the other dot at the origin to plot the other ordered pair. Okay, so the first ordered pair is 2, 0, and 3, -1. Let's see if I can put that over here. So 2, 0 is to the right 2, up 0. And the other one is to the right 3, down 1. Let's submit that. All right, and this one is step 1 or 2. Plot the given points on the graph. You already know how to do that. This is from the origin left 2 down 1. This is right 3 down 6. This is left 4 down 3. So I'm going to skip that one. You can probably do that just fine. Same thing here. I got to plot these, and then I'm going to have step 2. And I don't know what that's going to be yet, so let me go ahead and plot these. So -2, -2 is left 2 down 2, and the other point is 2, 6. So that's right 2 up 6. Now step 2 is going to be identify the coordinates of point A and B. So A is right 6 down 1. So that's going to be a 6 and a -1. And B is from here, left 1 up 6. Left 1 up 6. So I feel like this is probably enough to get you started. Here they want you to plug in 5 for X and solve for Y. So let's see if we can do that real quick. 5 for X. That's the wrong pin. Okay, so I'm going to have 6 times 5 plus 3y equals 9. So 30 plus 3y equals 9. So 3y equals 9 minus 30. I'm going to subtract 30 from both sides. So that's -21. And y is multiplied by 3, so I divide by 3. So y is -7. And if I'm going fast here and you need to repeat these, stop and rewind and watch it again, that's fine. That's what these videos are for. But when I'm doing the videos to try to keep them not too long, I'm going to go pretty quickly. All right, so step 2 of 2, determine the missing coordinate in the ordered pair, something for X, 1 for Y. So I'm going to plug in 1 for Y, and I'm going to solve for X. So 6x plus 3 times 1 equals 9. 6x plus 3 equals 9. Take away 3 from both sides. Divide both sides by 6. So my x is going to be 1 right there. And I believe this should be it. Well, that's 6 of 12. Okay, everybody loves fractions. So let's do this real quick. We've got -1/4. So that means to the left 1/4 and then down 2 they want us to plot. So I need to look at my scale of my graph, and you notice that the -1 is here. So that means this is -1/2. -1/4 is about halfway, is exactly halfway between 0 and -1/2. So, and I'm going to go down 2 from there. So -1/4 all the way to -2. And you can again move that if you, let's see if it tells you where that point is plotted. I don't think it does. So you're going to use your eyeballs, and hopefully you're close enough that it will recognize it as the right place. So now we're going to go to the left 3 up 2/4. Well, 2/4 is just 1/2. So that would be here. And we're going to submit our answer. And there we go. Does 4, 1 satisfy this equation? Well, you're going to plug in 4 for X and 1 for Y and see if you get a true statement. So let's see here. 5 times 4 minus 2 times 1 equals 9. So I'm asking myself, are they equal? So 8 minus 2 equals 9. 6 equals 9. That's not true. That's false. So it will be a no for our answer. That point does not satisfy that equation. In other words, that point is not on this line. Same thing here. You're going to plug in 3 for X and 3 for Y and see if you get a true statement. So I'm going to skip that. Here is where they give you a T-chart, is the way I write this, with a 5 for the X and a 1 for the Y. So let me go ahead, 5 for X and 1 for Y. Here's my T-chart. 5 for x, 1 for y. Okay, so I need to plug in a 5 for x and solve for y. So y equals 2 times 5 minus 3, which is 10, minus 3, which is 7. So y is 7. Now I'm going to plug in y equals 1 and solve for x. So 1 equals 2x minus 3. Add 3 to both sides. 4 equals 2x, so 2 equals x. So the 2 goes there. So 5, 7, and 2, 1. Go back to here. 5, 7, and 2, 1. Hopefully this is helping you get the idea. This is another drag the points to the 2 points that we just found in the previous step. So we know how to do that. I'm going to skip it. This is the same thing that we've just done, only now you have decimals. You can use your calculator. Fine. Skip it. And here's where you plug in 2 for x, solve for y. We've already done that type of problem. We've already done this type of problem. Plug in 4 for x, negative 9 for y, and see if you get a true statement. True is yes, false is no. Skip it. And here is slightly different, but the first variable here is h instead of x, and the second variable is v for volume instead of y. You're just going to plug in 2 for h, solve for v. 4 for h, solve for v into this equation here. So v equals 5h. So 5 times 2, that'll be 10. 4 times 2. No, sorry, 5 times 4. 7 times 5. And 8 times 5. Okay, so hopefully this has helped you understand how to do 5.1. I'll do a video for each section in Unit 5.